We've been on an interest rate roller coaster for the last few years. At this point, you might be wondering just what a good mortgage interest rate is. You might be thinking you should wait it out before buying. The question is, wait for what? In this video, I'm not going to tell you if you should buy a house right now or not. I am going to give you some important information to consider while making that decision. Information that should help you decide exactly what a good interest rate for a mortgage loan is. Now, I have a number in mind that I consider a good competitive rate, but I'm not going to share that with you just yet because I don't want to influence your ability to judge that for yourself after seeing the data I'm about to share. By the way, all the data you're about to see can be found on the Freddie Mac website right here. I've also included a link to this website in the video description below. The uncertainty surrounding the question of what to consider a good interest rate has been fueled by not only the fast changing rates of the past year, but to a large extent by the historically low rates of 2020, 2021, and early 2022. The average rate for 2020 and 2021 were 3.11 and 2.96 respectively. And rates stayed in that general neighborhood through the spring of 2022 before they started moving up and moving up fast. Feeling like they missed the boat on low rates during this time, some potential home buyers are sitting on the sidelines with the intention of waiting out until rates return to lows like these. The problem with that is they could be waiting for quite some time. Rates in the low 3s and under 3% are literally a once-in-a-lifetime event. Let's take a look at some historical rates. Here's a graph showing the annual average mortgage rates for the last 50 years. I added a line at the 3% mark. As you can easily see, these crazy low interest rates at or below 3% have only happened once in the last 50 years, in 2021, when the average annual rate was at the previously mentioned pandemic-induced 2.96%. So I'm not kidding when I say once in a lifetime. Look at how high they were in the 80s. And all through the 90s and up until 2008, mortgage rates never fell below 6%. The average for the last 50 years is 7.75%. Although the literal average for the last 20 years was 4.76%, this might be a bit misleading. Those last 20 years included the crazy once-in-a-lifetime rates we saw during the pandemic. If you look at the 20 years ending just before COVID-19 arrived, the average rate was 5.44%. I think this number is a more practical one to use for a recent 20-year average. Now, you can judge for yourself what makes a good mortgage loan interest rate. Personally, based on what we've seen in this video, my idea of a competitive mortgage rate, one that shouldn't be considered a barrier to buying a home you love, would be any rate below 6%. At that point, we're dealing with a pretty typical rate that has been prevalent for many of the balanced, competitive, and affordable housing markets that we've seen the last 3 decades. By the way, the current national rate as of the making of this video in mid-December 2022 is about 6.15%. So we're getting close to that threshold. What is most important, though, is what you can afford for a mortgage payment, and if the current rates allow you to borrow the money you need to buy the house you're looking for, even if the current rate is higher than what you might consider an ideal mortgage rate. The problem with waiting for rates or any other market condition to change is that you might be waiting for something to change that is not going to change anytime soon, or that might not move in a direction that you're hoping for quite some time. Meanwhile, you might be missing out on a chance to get that beautiful home that was available while you were on the sidelines. If you'd like to keep track of mortgage rates as you consider or are in the process of buying a home, I've included a link in the video description below to my website page that includes mortgage rate information that is updated daily, along with a mortgage calculator that you can use to estimate the payment you could expect for any loan amount you are considering. If you want the best advice or information regarding loan options and what works best for you, find a trusted loan officer and lean on them for the answers you need. If you don't know where to find a loan officer, ask your realtor. Odds are they can recommend a good one. If you're a first-time buyer and you're a bit overwhelmed, check out my other videos on my channel, including this one covering various loan and down payment options here in Michigan. Hit that subscribe button and bell if you want to know when I release more videos like these or others that can help you with your home journey. Thanks for watching.